Do you have the superpower to just make a difference in your world? A lot of people think, Mayra, that question is just crazy. Of course, I don't have that superpower. And right now, I'm going to tell you, you do. You do have that superpower that can change everything around you. My name is Mayra Cordero, and I created the Happy Hours. The Happy Hours are all about making sustainability and happiness simple to enjoy. And today we have a very special guest, Alysha, and she has so many amazing superpowers that is just contagious.
Thank you so much, Myra. So happy to chat with you. And one of my favorite topics, making the world a little bit better every single day.
Yes, for sure we can do that. Alysha, I'm going to throw the first ball at you. What is your superpower?
It's pretty much the same as anybody else's superpower. And the one thing that we will always have with us through life is your voice, your ability to speak up and to share perspective or story. No matter how big or small your story is, your individual life is a superpower in its own.
Yes, I love it. You know what? I run into other amazing women. One of them is the creator of To Bridge Gaps, and another one, that her name is Eve. And Challenge 21 Happy, we created it because we see that we have so many things around us that we don't truly value or we don't use, or for this part of your life, I mean, probably was useful before, but at this moment of your life, it's not useful anymore. So what we did is challenge people to let go of those things, like then just share your voice, share your message with others and say, you know what? I was just pack of things and I was unhappy.
Yeah.
What about you, Alysha? How's been your journey with Challenge 21 Happy?
For myself, taking into account, things that you don't use or need or necessarily love in order to make space in your life for the things that do. Maybe, similar to a lot of other people, COVID has really given me the perspective that I haven't always spent money on the things that bring me joy and fulfillment. But instead, things that I thought were supposed to do those things, right? So for myself, I've given away like bags and bags of clothes, knickknacks, shoes, and have budgeted out like shopping for clothes or impulse buys to leave money and space in my life for, experiences, charity, self-development, things that never really go out of style. I think there's this whole mindset that you need to fill your life with a bunch of stuff to entertain you. But after a couple of days or a week, that thing is like old news, right? And then next thing you know, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, I have these things, but I'm broke again, and I'm not that much happier. But instead, if I found that, if I put some money or just create space in my life for experiences, or, just developing myself or doing things that really enhance my life, those things last forever as a memory, right? And we're able to find value in them forever, rather than just, a quick month of what's popular to maybe buy. So Challenge 21 Happy has been super amazing in my life, just to create that space and to focus on the happiness.
Yeah, I love it. You know what? When I moved to the States and I found all these stores that you can find clothes very cheap, right? Because that's another subject that we might talk in the future, because it might be cheap for you, but how much is really what you're paying on the long run, and how much is the environment paying? What has helped you to truly enjoy your life and move out of that situation?
That's the thing, right? And especially through social media, advertising, all of that, you see these things that are making people happy, and you're like, oh my gosh, if I have that too, maybe I'll get a little bit happier, or look how happy that person is having that thing, this and that, right? Maybe you've heard it before, but there's no way that we were meant to just pay bills and die. And I feel like that's what we get into a cycle of doing, right? And that's why it's really important for me to enjoy my life, because, I believe that it's easy to fall into this noisy habit of always playing catch up, you know what I mean, with bills and engaging in consumerist culture where you're always trying to catch up to having the next greatest thing or the latest and greatest thing. Because it's advertised to us, right, that enjoyment and fulfillment comes from possessions. But if all of those things fell away, much like at the beginning of COVID, you know, who would I be? Who would you be? You know what I mean? Just kind of asking yourself those questions. And, you know, I found that instead of looking outside at all the stuff that I could acquire in my life, I find joy and enjoy my life most when I'm sometimes quietly looking within at all the goods and commodities that, you know, live within me that money can't buy, like creativity, reflection, imagination, you know, things that bring you wonder or chances to practice bravery. Those things are like, you can't put a price on them, but they live within me and they live within all of us. So I'm finding the most joy and enjoyment when I look inside. I'm finding that, you know, paying attention to intrinsic fulfillment and how and why it's important to just leave space for those things in my life rather than trying to cram it full of all these things that are supposed to do that for me, is how I really enjoy my life.
That's a perfect way for everybody to enjoy their lives. It's just a matter of fact of taking the time to find it within you. Like, it's not something that you have to go outside to find it, just within you. Look at you. Okay, how can I enjoy this moment? I have a game with my son that when we get out of the house, he says, I am happy for, instead of, so I am happy for. And the other day said, I am happy for the bump. And I was just like, the bump? I am happy for the bump because it slows people down. And I was like, that's true, right? I mean, how we take the time to really do that? I mean, can we take the time to just go outside or even inside our houses and look at something that you never imagined to be happy for?
Yeah. Right. And I find that that's so incredible too. I know you mentioned your son, and sometimes I find that's the greatest way to feel true joy or just enjoy life, is by looking at the world through the eyes or the perspective of a child, right? It just slows everything down. Everything is so wonderful and cool and deserves to be, you know, just like relished in. So I love that. Your son sounds awesome.
Yes. Another example for me was like, okay, I know you live in Canada, I live in Mexico, so we're not used to that cold.
No.
When we got that freeze, like, we didn't have electricity, we didn't have water, how much we do not appreciate things and we take them for granted. To what point? Because I feel like I appreciate what I have, but I don't see all the connections many times, because I was like, okay, I don't have electricity, it's the middle of the day, I'm fine, right? I don't need it. And then I thought, I'm just gonna wash some clothes. Oh no, I cannot wash clothes because I don't have electricity or water. And I thought about that, like, how many times do we touch or encounter water in our daily lives? And if we truly appreciate that, really aware of it.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, right? Is don't think twice about having these things and how much they make a huge impact in being able to live a great life, right? But like just flipping the switch or turning on the tap, these are things we do so mindlessly, but when they're taken away, then we realize, wow, we have it pretty good.
I believe that the simple that we make it, happiness, sustainability, the easier and can do something about it. So for you, what is one of those tools?
For myself, something that I do every single day that really improves my life, and that's why I keep doing it, is having a peaceful and intentional morning routine that, you know, sets my day up for happiness and, you know, primes me to, be the best version of myself, but also be very receptive to improve along the way, right? And my morning routine is not necessarily just one thing, but one thing that I always make sure to do is personally start my morning reading for about 30 minutes. And that I find that it really eases my brain and my mindset into forward thinking for the day, and really opens up my empathy right off the bat in the morning, because I'm taking in somebody else's words, somebody else's, experience or perspective. And I really love that. The way that I look at it is like reading is such an empathetic experience. And I love to write as well. And I find when I'm writing, I have to practice so much empathy to like get into the mind of that character. So reading has been something, right off the bat in the morning in my morning routine that has been really impactful for me in improving my life. I also love to do research on these sorts of things, such as, sustainability and climate change and whatnot. And I love to create content and articles, write poetry, even produce some short sort of videos that, aim to inspire and pass along some information. So I try to put that out into the world to hopefully, help or inspire some other people. And really, I find the biggest way that you can make an impact, and the one thing that I really always try to do is just speak from my heart. And whether that's, in my own content or in my, professional 9 to 5 job and building out brand campaigns, where I work at Rogers Sports and Media, I know that heart-centered thinking and leadership can really get us places. And I don't want people to think that being heart-centered is unprofessional, because, our world is rapidly evolving, and I really believe that creatives make history. And the more that you can get in touch with your creativity is through like your heart first, right? And so, I'm really lucky to, work with and make contributions in such a progressive organization that I work in. We're creating a better future every single day. And I think that's the best approach, just in terms of whatever you do is enough. And if it's heart-centered, it's more than enough.
Yeah. It reminds me of the phrase, what comes from the heart goes to the heart. So
yeah.
What would you like for your legacy to be?
I want people to remember me as a trying person. No matter what I get, no matter where I go, I'm always trying. I'm trying to make the world a better place. I'm trying to speak up more. I'm trying new things. I'm trying to expand my perspective, that sort of thing. So I'm just always trying to do what I can do to make a contribution to humanity and whatnot. So if people remember me that way, I would be very happy.
I will, for sure, and I'm so happy that you were here, because we did try many times to get in touch.
That's the thing, right? All life is just trying to make it work, trying to do the best you can, right? So grateful and so honored to be able to talk to you finally.
Yes, me too. Thank you so much, Alysha. I really appreciate your time. Get in touch with Alysha. I'm gonna leave all her information down here so you can contact her directly and just create, because I do believe, as well as you, that we are meant to be here to become the better version of ourselves every single day. So thank you so much. We'll see you soon, Alysha.
Yes, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.